Those in the north are closest to the gods. Their lands lie within the ebbing shadow of chaos. For in the land of monsters and ice, where no crops grow, they have to be. Thus, I have come to guide their raw talent. Why waste such savagery on each other, while the southern lands are ripe for ravaging? Hail, Throgg, king of trolls. You venture far from your natural lair. These lands are rich with meat and war. Feast upon them, grow in strength and number, to bring ruin beyond. To the east, the icy mountains harbor the dwarfs of Krakadrak. They mine great treasures for themselves. But all of this can be yours for the taking, or for the gods. To the south, Kislev. These men of the bear dare to rule your kingdom. Let them feel the power of the monstrous horde. Destroy Erengrad and reclaim your rightful throne in Troll country. Beyond Kislev lies the Empire. Its bickering states of power are ripe with treasures. Take from these soft southern lands and establish new ports on their shores from which you can raid further. Across the Sea of Claws, a would-be challenger lies in wait aboard his precious ship. Devour him and do as you wish with his marauding warriors. Throgg, you are the Wintertooth, cunning and all-powerful. Let the realms of man suffer in horror and pain, as your monstrous horde lays waste to all. The harsh and desolate wastes of Norsca embrace you into its cold and wintry grip, my lord. Yet it cannot sustain your appetite for war indefinitely. You will need to voyage from this land to raid and pillage. Your gods will gaze favorably upon you for this. Raise in their name, and align yourself with one to be granted their twisted and ruinous gifts.
God, I never thought he would shut up. If you think about it, he's basically stalking all of the heroes and villains in the Warhammer world. Wherever we go, the advisor's there. That's just weird. And he kind of looks like the evil Nazi guy who drinks from the wrong grail in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So you go away. You go back to your cupboard wherever you live. Hello, Monsters Abound here, and welcome to part 1 of my Norsca campaign. Norsca came out on Thursday. I didn't get early access. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I'm a YouTuber with over 10 subscribers. How did I not get early access? Well, I'm sure it's just a clerical error. These things happen, and it's fine. It really doesn't bother me because I don't do YouTube for the early access. I do it for the drugs, the women, the money, and of course the luxury yachts. That's what, and the fans, obviously, and the fans, but mostly the yachts. It has to be said. I do love a good yacht. So I'll be playing as Throgg, the Troll King. Once you go Troll, you don't re-roll. As true a saying today as it's ever been. I love trolls. Played one in EverQuest. Got punched to death by the banker in Calethin once. Yeah, and all my characters in World of Warcraft are trolls. Just love trolls. I mean, you're a monster. You can regenerate. You don't have to worry about personal hygiene. It's the whole package. Really is. There's a lot I identify with as a troll, so that's good stuff. Norsca is definitely one of the most fleshed out factions that CA have ever released, and it's really they have really set the bar for Warhammer 2. I'm very excited. If this is the kind of thing they're currently putting out, then Warhammer 2 is going to be absolutely amazing. But there are a lot of mechanics that come with it, so you're going to have to bear with me. And we always got our chapter 1 objective here, which is to attain level 1 allegiance with any god. What does that mean? You'll find out in a second. As I said, bear with me. So how they play. So the gods offer great reward and bonuses once a significant amount of allegiance has been pledged by erecting great monoliths in raised settlements. So we have the gods as bars up here, and I don't know about you, but I really like having my god's current appraisal rating displayed to me in bar format. That's very helpful. It's very pleasing on the eye, very informative. I like that a lot. So we've obviously got the serpent there. That's Slanesh. So with him we get 10% upkeep, Lord Recruit rank, and a Specialist Chaos Sorcerer. The Crow is obviously Papa Nurgle. We've got Casualty Replenishment Rate, Wound Recovery Time, and a Devastating Plague. The Hound is Khorne, obviously, and then we get a Hell Cannon Battery unit. Unit experience per turn and weapon strength. And then the Eagle is, of course, Zinch. We get a Mighty Lord of Change, Winds of Magic, and a Research Rate. So how do you acquire additional favour with your gods? Well, you raise settlements and you build giant totems in the remains. When you raise a settlement, you get the choice to dedicate it to one of the gods. Dedicating will increase reputation with one god and reduce it with the other 3. And then depending on how many you raise, you get different bonuses. And I'm just saying, I would go to church more, or ever in fact, if I knew that if I just sat through 3 hymns, I'd get, say, additional weapon strength. That would definitely make me go, Jesus, I'm just saying, the ball's in your court now. Make it happen. Okay, so the next bit is Norscan settlements generate only a small income. So Norscans are obviously big, burly, manly men. They don't tend to go in for building industries or farms. We will not make much money from our settlements at all, but we are top trumps at burning down other people's industries and farms and murdering them all and taking anything that's left. For example, we would not build a Starbucks on every corner. We would wait for someone else to build a Starbucks, then burn it down and carry off all their frothy salted caramel macchiatos back to our longships as trophies. Just to clarify, I'm not advocating burning down your local Starbucks and stealing their coffee beans, unless they do something utterly reprehensible, like put your name incorrect, write your name incorrectly on your coffee cup. Then obviously you have my blessing. So not going to get much money. We need to sack and raise and burn other factions. Next up is the Monstrous Arcanum, and this is one of the best things they've added. I really love this. So it's basically he's back.
Arcanum houses a collection of the mightiest beasts and monsters that roam the world.
Yeah, I know.
Seek them out and hunt them down to acquire their gifts.
Finished? Okay, good. Good, off you go. I'm sure the contents of his hard drive would be a great interest to the authorities. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, the Monstrous Arcanum allows us to basically set off on quest battles to locate and hunt and kill some great monsters. We need technology before we can do it, which start the quest chain, and then it's topped off by an actual quest battle fighting the monster in question. And how cool is that? I mean, if that's the kind of thing that's going to be in Warhammer 2, bloody amazing. Brilliant. Exactly what I've always thought Warhammer Total War needed. So now we too can be the very best that no one ever was. To catch them will be our quest. To butcher and sacrifice them to our dark and terrible gods is our cause. Great stuff. There's up to 8 to pick from, so there's various different ones. So I think that's a Frostworm, there's a Cygor there. So a Dragon Ogre, a Ragnarok Spider, a Giant, he's the farting giant I think, and there's a Forest Dragon there, and then a Mammoth and a Terrorgeist. So that's all going to be really, really interesting. We do need to research technology before we can do that, but we'll get to that in a bit. So the next bit is Confederation. So if you watch my Kemmler and Krell campaign, you'll know that even though I kicked Vlad around repeatedly, he still didn't want to join me. He just sat in his last little hovel writing morbid poetry about death until the Empire showed up and finally killed him. Vlad is a prick. Screw you, Vlad. But for Norscan tribes, if we beat an enemy Norscan chieftain, then he will have to confederate with us. He has to join us. There's no question about that. He will. And we can ask him basically for anything we want and he'll accept it. So that makes that a lot easier. That's far less frustrating. The last bit is the Marauder Outposts. Lastly, settlements. So we can settle all Norse provinces, as you'd expect. But we can also settle any coastal settlement, so any settlement which has a port in it, and turn it into an outpost, and several capitals as well. So, for example, we can settle Altdorf, and we can turn it into a fully operational Norscan settlement with all the recruitment buildings and so on and so forth. Which gives us options to spread out and have recruitment and replenishment buildings away from our frigid home in Norsca. Plus, there are 6 technologies related to holding and capturing and holding capitals. So if we just pop into the tech tree a sec. So we've got 3 trees. I'll go through those in a second, but these are the ones we're really interested in. So for example, here's the one for Altdorf. So if we hold Altdorf, we can research this technology, which will give us 10% magic resistance, 25% weapon damage, and enemy siege holdout time -3. And that's huge. That's massive. And all we have to do is hold Altdorf for that. So it's really going to... There's 6 different ones. So there's one there for Corone. There's Miraglanio, Kazakarak, Altdorf, Drakenhof, and Black Crag, or Karak Draz. Drasa? So we can research those. Okay, so we've got 3 main technology trees. We've got the war tools here. This one is to do with upgrading our marauders. We've got the monster hunter here. That opens up books in the monstrous arcanum and also buffs our monsters. And we have the sea marauder tools, which is sort of a miscellaneous tree, which is sort of like for campaign bonuses, really. So I'm going to start off by getting the Sea Marauders tools. So whether fighting at sea or on land, the Longship Marauders are the most seasoned veterans of the Norscan tribes. So we're going to pick that one up to start off with. Now the Throgg campaign, I think, is probably on par with Skarsnik for how difficult it is. Especially to start off with, you're limited in what you can actually do. So we have Cracker Drak to our east. They're not so much of an issue, to be honest. They will declare war eventually, but to start off with, they're not going to be an issue. And we probably don't want to fight them because they've got a lot of heavily armoured units. Our units aren't going to be very good at dealing with them. To the south, we've got Kislev, and obviously we've got our home in Troll Country at Leningrad. We want to retake that at some point, but Kislev, again, not so much of an issue to start off with. But what we do have an issue with is the other Norscan tribes, and the Naglfarings here are our main first target. And it can be a bit tricky to deal with them because their leader will usually end his first turn sort of around this location, this little pass. Now, if we recruit units, we won't have the movement to reach him. He will then retreat back to Aisling Conclave and start recruiting again. With the units he has there, it's a very difficult fight. He's got some Marauder champions there, plus he's got a Frostworm. It's difficult. I mean, we've got some trolls. So you've got some Norscan trolls, some ice trolls, but they tend to break really quickly. As you can see, their leadership is only 38, and that's really low. So they will tend to break in a fight fairly quickly. So it's a bit of a problem. Once we've got some levels with Throgg, we can mitigate that. But to start off with, it's a bit of an issue. So I found the best option. Yeah, okay, Throgg. Yeah. So actually, let's get there's Throgg. Hi, Throgg. Yes, you are, Throgg. You are indeed. So to start off with, what I like doing is I'm going to pop Throgg here and put him into ambush stance. Yeah, okay, if you think so, Throgg, that's fine. And then at Winterpire here, so we only start off with a minor settlement. That's not so much of an issue, but what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade to the Raiders camp in our settlement. And then... okay, Throgg, yeah, and then we're just going to end turn. And we've managed to ambush him. Perfect. So as you can see, there's Larmant Dahl there. He's the chieftain of Naglfarings. So his units are 3 marauders. That's going to be no difficulty for our trolls to deal with. He's got some spearmen there. We're going to have to use our marauders to deal with them. And some marauders, again, they're no issue. There's a slight problem with the Frostworm, and Larmant Dahl himself is going to be an issue, but hopefully Throgg will be able to deal with them. And we've got them in an ambush, so it's a good start. So let's go with that. It's going to be a pretty quick battle because obviously it is an ambush, and here comes Throgg straight into the flank of the column. Look at him go. Oh, that is just utterly majestic. Just utterly majestic. Fantastic stuff. And here come his troll entourage. They're also doing their thing. Look at them go there. There's the frost trolls. They look amazing, don't they? Look great. And here come our marauders as well. I'm going to just tie up the other units while our trolls do the hard work. And in come our wolves as well. We've got some Norscan warhounds and some ice wolves coming in. They're going to go charging directly into the rear of what is now embroiled in combat. The unit is now embroiled in combat. That's going to yeah, they already the leadership's dropped to 15. They're not going to last very long. The Frostworm is here. The Frostworm looks great as well, doesn't he? Looks amazing. And we have some ice walls coming in as well. Let's speed it up so we can watch the devastation. And it goes. Yeah, there come the ice hounds. As you can see, the rear of the column is pretty much breaking already. Throgg is now kind of concentrate on the Frostworm. We just want to drive it away. We don't want to kill it, if at all possible. Our trolls are now free to slam into the flank of the units that are embroiled in combat with our Norscan warriors. And our warhounds are breaking off and then charging back in. And there they go. Throgg's going to throw up over the Frostworm. The Frostworm is not going to enjoy that. The Frostworm's decided that he's got a vastly more important appointment elsewhere. There we go, and most of the enemy army is now broken. Larmant Dahl there, he's now broken. He's going to make a run for it, but we can get him on side after the battle. Once he's beaten, he'll know who's boss. Larmant Dahl there is getting a bit of a beating. Throgg's just making sure that he fully understands who the boss is. It's us. There we go. So there we go. We've beaten Larmant Dahl in battle, and I should have mentioned that we wanted to beat him in an open battle so we can get his Frostworm, because when we confederate with him in a minute, we will actually get his army, including his Frostworm. So we wanted to drive it off, not kill it. Okay, so let's sacrifice our captives, because obviously, you know, why not? Okay, so now we've beaten him in battle, we can actually go to the Naglfarings and we can say,
deity protects you. It ends here. We'll spill your blood.
Well, yep. Will you though? Because I'm going to offer you a peace treaty. I'm also going to say you're going to join Confederacy with me. I'm also going to say give me all your money. That might seem a little bit shallow, a little bit material, but it's a material world, Larmont, and I am a material girl. So give me all your cash, and yep, thank you very much for that. And there we go. We have attained complete control of the Mountains of Hell, and what a lovely place it is. Of course, with the the classic Warhammer skulls dotted everywhere. So we've got Larmont's army, and what we will do is we will probably. Do we want them all? Yeah, screw it. We'll just take everyone. May as well. And Larmont, yeah, you're surplus to requirements. You're surplus to requirements. Okay, there we go. So we've got Throgg. He's now got a nice army. He's got a Frostworm there. We've still got positive income. That's a bonus. That Frostworm is going to cost a lot though, 425 a turn. But I think we'll live with that. Throgg's got a skill point already, so we're going to grab Route Marcher. Those who know the land and its secrets will travel faster and further than those who don't. Yep, that's that. Good. Okay, so now we've got a settlement, and one of the main things we're probably going to battle with to start off with is the public order. Public order is not great in Norscan settlements to start off with. It gets better, but to start off with it is pretty bad, and you don't want rebellions. You don't have walls, and the chaos rebellions that spawn are more than strong enough to deal with a unprotected settlement. So you don't want it to happen. So first off, we're just going to knock down the sparring field. We don't need that there. That's fine. And we're probably going to grab... Let's grab some javelins. I love javelins. They are a brilliant unit. Absolutely grab those if you can. There's nothing better than throwing javelins into people. It's one of my guilty pleasures. Okay, so we're going to pop Throgg in Aesting Conclave. That's going to help with the public order a little bit. It's still not going to fix it. Let's grab another javelin and should we get more than... I'm half tempted to grab some more berserkers. They've got very high weapon strength, they've got very high melee attack. They've got very low defense, but they do get some physical resistance if they're last in combat. So let's maybe, if we drop, tell you what, let's merge these marauders, and the one with the least amount will drop, and then we'll grab two berserkers to start off with. There we go. And right, can't build that. What shall we build here? Let's build a Warhound Kennels, because that's going to let us get Skin Wolves, Norscan Ice Wolves, and a Skin Wolf Werekin. Skin Wolves are amazing units. Absolutely grab some of those if you can. So we're definitely going to build a Warhound Kennel there to start off with. Okay, so we've got the Sea Marauders tools. That's good. So let's get the corpulent sails next. So when the marauder's eagerness for despoilment is nurtured, vast distances can be covered between raids. That's going to give us campaign movement range. That's going to be quite useful. So we've got 16 units here. I mean, let's keep up the momentum. Let's go and attack the Varg. So their warlord is Sutha Eek. If we can find him and beat him in combat, we'll get his territories as well. So we're going to start by burning down Sarl Encampment, just to we'll auto resolve this one. We're just to prove that we mean business. That's going to get us a bit of cash. There we go. There's loot gained for that. And we'll be able to sack the settlement. So there's the rank gained. Excellent. Okay, and
this
then...
settlement is yours to do with as you please.
I know it is.
Whether that be the establishment of a camp to recruit and build from...
that's not what we're doing.
To devote it to one of the gods by raising it to ash and ruin.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Their favour and gifts.
Right. Okay, go back to your broom cupboard. You little weirdo. Good, yes, so obviously we get the occupy option, we get the sack option, and we can also raise it, and here we can see we could raise it for one of the gods, which is going to give +6 favour for one god and -2 for the others. We're not going to do that because obviously we want to keep the Norscan settlements and use them for our own, so we're just going to sack it for the moment, just to build up some cash. And we've got the Ice Horn Marauders, the ichor of the gods flows through the veins of those from the god-touched wilderness, and that's our first regiment of renown. But we currently have a predicted income of negative. So what we're going to do, we're going to enter a raiding stance. Norscan armies can enter a raiding stance without movement penalty. So they can enter raiding stance whenever. They also have a raiding camp stance, a bit like the Greenskins, which will give them replenishment as well as raid, and that takes half their movement, but they can always enter a sort of bog standard raiding stance. That's pretty cool. So let's give Throgg his next ability. I kind of want to go for Norse Resilience maybe, because the casualty replenishment rate would be quite nice, but the Voice of the Dark Gods, that will lead us on to Icy Wrath, which is going to lead up to beefing up our trolls and giving them more leadership, and that's kind of what I want to do. So we're going to go for the Voice of the Dark Gods. This sword speaks with a dread booming voice, a gift from his dark masters to ensure obedience, increasing his aura size by plus 10%. That's quite useful. Okay, so we're going to go with that for the moment. Ace in Conclave. Yeah, we're going to upgrade to a warband camp here. Life in the frozen wasteland is a constant battle for survival, keeping the bands of warriors together. That's going to give us 20 income. Yeah, that's right, a whole big 20. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to spend that all in one place, isn't it? Absolutely. So we're going to upgrade to that. Good stuff. I'm not sure where Sutha Eek is, but I think he's probably around here somewhere. So hopefully he will come to defend Sile Encampment, and we can finish him off. No Sutha Eek yet, but let's attack Sile Encampment again. Let's auto resolve again. And we'll get a little bit more cash. That's going to just cover our deficit there and give us another bit of experience, which is always good. And we'll just sack it again. See if we can drag him over to help his beleaguered settlement. Let's just chuck Throgg into Aisling Conclave. That's going to regenerate our units. Also, it's going to help with the public order a little bit. Yeah, we're going to upgrade the Ultra Spawns to a warband camp. It's going to give us a little bit of income, more public order. That's important. So that's what we're going to do there. I mean, Winterpire over here is basically defenseless against the dwarves, but dwarves don't tend to declare war until usually around turn 20 to 30. So we've got a little while before they probably do that. Throgg's got a skill point. We're going to whack it in Icy Wrath. The intense cold and near constant darkness of the far north make a certain kind of killer, and that's going to give our Norse controls and Norscan ice trolls plus 5 melee attack. It's going to be a good start for them. Let's grab the... Should we grab the Ice Horn Marauders? Yeah, let's grab those in. It's going to decrease our income a little bit more, but I think that it's worth getting them. Well, Sutha Eek is still nowhere to be found. So let's just take Sile Encampment then. Oh, that's fine. We can do that. That's fine. Yeah, so we'll just do that again. There we go. Get a little bit of income. That's just going to cover our expenses, and we'll just occupy. And we get an enchanted shield. Ooh, such a shield has been enchanted by a wizard or blessed by a priest to give its wearer greater protection. That's going to be 3 armor and 5 melee defense. That's not bad. And the Brutes of the Hound are marauder berserkers. Merciless and psychotic, these frenzied berserkers kill with total devotion to the god of warriors. And I do love psychotic people in my army. It's one of my recruitment requirements. You have to be absolutely bonkers. Good. So we're going to grab the next level of Icy Wrath. That's going to give us plus 10 melee attack. That's going to be quite good. We do have a bit of a public order problem here, but hopefully we will soon negate that a little bit. We're just looking for Sutha Eek. He might be in the Bay of Blades or the Tower of Karak. The other option is... Oh, hello. He's up here. There he is. He's at the Varg camp. That's a bit frustrating because he's quite far away from us. We might... Do we head north to deal with him, or do we head south to capture his settlements and then deal with him later? Tricky. So we've got some damaged buildings here. Let's repair those. Let's get that going. Good. Icy death indeed, Throgg. Icy death indeed. So Larmandal is back in action. Good, we might use him later. Sutha Eek is currently in the Varg camp. Not sure what he's doing up there. He looks like he's recruiting. Not sure what he's recruiting. I guess if he's... It'll take take a while to get over there. I guess while he's over there, we will capture his settlements. So we've got the Aisling Conclave there. That's dropping obedience quite quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a ruinous altar. So the gods exist as undeniable as the night. They are worshipped at ruinous altars intended for sacrifice and more. That's going to give us public order for each concurrent war, and additional public order, plus chaos corruption, and let us recruit a shaman sorcerer, and that's going to be very useful. So if Sutha Eek was closer, we'd beat him in combat and take his territory by confederating with him. But seeing as he's all the way up there, we're just going to have to do it the hard way. Ooh, so while raiding across the sea, your warriors discover rich pickings in a coastal village that was easily overcome. So rich it turns out that your ships, already heavy with earlier plunder, cannot carry all you wish to take. What should they load up with, and what should they leave behind? So we can take iron and metal, take all their iron and metal and pots, anything that can be melted down to become weapons ready to be blooded. That's going to give us minus 15% upkeep for units. That would be very useful right now. Or meat and mead, take their meat and their mead. These weak fools do not need victuals now they are all dead. That's a fair point. That's very fair. And that's going to give us casualty replenishment rate. I'm going to go for the iron and metal just to reduce the upkeep. That's going to put us actually in positive income for a moment. That's quite good. Okay, so we're going to come down here and we're going to grab Bay of Blades. Yep, indeed it is Throgg. We're just going to auto-resolve that. It's going to be an easy battle. There we go. It's going to give us a little bit of income. We're just going to occupy this one. There we go. So we've got the Bay of Blades now. Throgg's got a new skill point. We're going to grab Icy Wrath. So that's going to give plus 15 melee attack for Norscan trolls and Norscan ice trolls, and plus 20 leadership, which is quite good. Yep, Throgg indeed. Okay. So we're still dropping by 5, but we're only minus 36 there. It's not too bad. That's survivable. We could... I think what we're going to grab is we're going to grab a fur stash. Mutant pelts with their unique texture and qualities do not come cheap due to being highly difficult to obtain. That's just going to give us some basic income of 100. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. And also increase our income from raiding by 2% faction-wide. Rank 2 increases it by 5% and income from sacking by 2. And then rank 3, income from raiding 10% and income from sacking 5%. So that's, we can get multiples of those. That's all going to stack and be quite useful. It's also going to give us just a little bit of basic income to survive with. Sutha Eek is still up there in Varg camp. That's a bit frustrating. If only he'd come down and fight like a Norscan, then we could take all his territory normally. That'd be nice if we could. I think he's got chariots in his army as well. Those might come in useful if we can confederate and take them with us. That'd be quite good. So we've got the corpulent sails technology, and we're going to grab longer hulls. Sailing into the unknown is always easy with more space for supplies. That's going to give us income from sacking and immunity to high seas attrition. It's going to be quite good. So we'll grab that. And let's go over to the Tower of Karak now, and we'll grab that one, and then we'll head back and try and make for Varg camp, I think. So now we've got the Ruinous Altar here. We can see that the obedience is only dropping by 2 a turn. That's manageable. So that's not too bad. We can live with that for the moment. It's not going to rebel anytime. So 30 turns until it rebels. That's more than enough time. That's fine. Silent Encampment is only 9 turns. Yeah, we need to do something about that. If we take the Tower of Karak, hopefully we should be able to sort of then concentrate on Sal Encampment, Aisling Conclave, sort of jump between those two, level out the obedience drop, and then build up our infrastructure while we raid the enemy Norscans. Okay, so Throgg's just going to take the Tower of Karak now. So an easy auto-resolve there. Going to auto-resolve that one. There we go. We've got some loot gained. And we're just going to occupy. And Throgg has been touched by the gods. I'm not going to ask where they touched him. Maybe Throgg can show us on a doll, maybe. And the gods have taken interest. Best not disappoint them. That's very true. It's giving him leadership +2. That'll come in useful. And we've secured the Trollheim Mountains, which is good. The Tower of Karak here is right on the edge of Kislev territory. And I'm half tempted to build defences here, but the only problem is, if we do build defences, even if we get the maximum rank garrison building, any army is still going to be able to walk over it in a turn, and we're not going to be able to stop them. So it does sort of beg the question, is it really worth it? Okay, so we've got another skill point. I'm going to grab Eye of the God. Oh, actually, yeah, Eye of the Gods. I'm going to grab that one. There we go. And yeah, so we've managed to acquire 2 full provinces. We don't have what are they called? Like proclamations. So we don't get a global buff for having an entire province. That's a bit of a shame. But just having the province will help, and we can beef up the first stash. We'll turn it into a beast tanner. Treating and colouring beast skins requires the use of lethal concoctions and hazardous tasks. Best left to the thralls. That's true. So we're going to grab that one. It's going to give us a little bit more income, and we are down to 23 gold. So I mean, maybe we could declare war on Kislev. I wonder if Sutha-Eek will surrender to us. No.
My warhounds have not eaten in days.
Then you shouldn't own pets if you're not going to feed them, Sutha. Just saying, alright? Fine. Yeah, okay, goodbye. Right, so I think the next job is we're going to have to travel over to the Varg camp and... or maybe we should go for the Naglfari Plain. Head over here. Go to Naglfari Plain, maybe we can... Yeah, so Naglfari Plain and the Varg camp are both in one province. So maybe if we take Naglfari Plain, we can head for Varg camp, take out Sutha-Eek in an open battle, and take his chariots. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to worry too much about the Tower of Karak. If we lose it, that's just, you know, that's the will of the Chaos Gods, isn't it? So there we go. So that's the first part of my Norscan campaign. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully we will be taking the rest of Norsca in future episodes, and then heading south and destroying the weak and pathetic empire and taking all their stuff. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.